Hey people, introduced 53 Fortuna Sanctum, blue team. Solace is a Warlock, a melee spellcaster that leaps into combat, some powerful disruption and support alongside. Panzerbatallion's Lord Commissar, strong offense and support fighting in melee, begins with a refractor shield. And rounding off the blue team, the King of Pythons. Where is he? There he is, with a Ravener Alpha, a tunneling hero, great mobility, powerful offense, with a bit of support, begins with a ranged weapon. See the tunnel back there. Red team, some more Tyranids. Chuzar is a Lictor Alpha, a melee specialist, can infiltrate and disrupt, some powerful offense and a bit of support. Alongside, Broodwich's Force Commander, very strong offense, fighting in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt and support. And rounded off the team, I believe this says Pan, P-A-N. It might be another player under a different name, but I don't know. With a Plague Champion, starts off with a damage of a time bolt gun, can get melee weapons, some strong utility and support, can also repair. Opening up with triple heretics against the Ravener Alpha over here. Ravener Alpha goes straight into melee. Termagant's backing off because they will get torn apart by triple heretics. Not sure what the Hormagaunts are up to. Oh, Hormagaunts are munching on the Plague Champion. Meanwhile, west side, Lictor Alpha, I bet they flesh hooked that Howling Banshee there. That's most likely what happened, looking at the energy of the Lictor Alpha. And the dead Banshee on the floor. Goes infiltrated now. Double Termagant's getting some shots in. So really good special attack. Holy crap. Destructor's pretty nicely hit too. Starting ability of the Warlock. Banshee's giving chase. Termagant's getting pretty low. They will tear them apart quite fast, the Howling Banshees. Losing some models in retreat though to the Lictor Alpha. Well, losing one. And the Hormagaunts, I guess they were forced off early maybe. Back to the mid. Sentinel getting a decap on that slightly natural wreck point there. Force Commander's gone down. That is strange. A Force Commander to go down. First engagement against Imperial Guard. I wonder what happened over there. Imperial Guard don't really start with the most killy of units. Lord Commissar maybe just caught him in retreat and he misjudged the fight a little bit. It can happen. We've got Grenade Launcher Heretics. We might see double Grenade Launcher Heretics here. And the Sparring Champion on these guys already also gives the squad a bit more health, which they could sure use, the Heretics. There's double Tactical Marines for Broodwich, almost said double CSM. Implying some heresy. That hasn't even happened yet. I'm sure it will though. Fighting alongside the Lictor Alpha, we got a Warrior Brood for Chuzar. Lord Commissar is forced to retreat. Here's the Warrior Brood. They are a detector unit. Also start with a basic synapse to provide some defensive buffs to the Termagants and Hormagaunts. Power melee damage, can leap on you in combat. Solid all-round squad. They are going to be a high priority target for Solace, because as a synapse creature they will provide a synapse backlash if you can kill one and knock down a bunch of stuff and damage it. Especially if the Banshees can get on them. We do have double Toxin Sac Termagants though. That might make it difficult for the Banshees to get in. Could set it up with a Ranger Kinetic Pulse maybe. In the mid, it's a 2v1 against Panzerbatallion. They're backing off here. Catachin's in play. Well played Panzer to recognise this quickly and back away. There's a smoke grenade from the Catachin's. Defensive buffs over there now. And they can get a good all reliable. There it is. Might have saved it perhaps for when the Tyranids were moving in. Lictor Alpha gets caught and goes down. Banshees drawing in the Hormagaunts. Now leaping onto the Warrior Brood. Can they get them? Scouts forced off the mid. They got the cap though, the red team. This is well played by blue though. Striking back pretty hard. And that's all because Panzerbatallion didn't rush into that fight. They backed off, probably saw Solace showing up on the minimap. Used the Catachins very well, getting that quick smoke grenade up. And that good all reliable. And they've buffed those guardsmen there with a little bit of inspiring courage by shooting one of them in the head. An ability that the Lord Commissar starts with, can execute a model to give the rest of the squad double damage, which is really cool. Ravener Alpha barely gets away from the east side. We've got Noise Marines up here for Pan. What else we got? Oh, look at these guys getting an aspiring champion as well. That's quite a lot of power spent by Pan. Because grenade launchers are 20 power, I think. Aspiring champion is 25. And you got the Noise Marines. King of Pythons might be able to out-tech them here. Unless they can get a power bash. I mean, even with the power bash, they might be able to. So they didn't get any power cost units up. They did get some upgrades, I think. Yes. Well, one. They only got adrenal glands up on the Hormagaunts. That was it. Noise Marines here with a Sonic Blaster. Good area of effect damage against infantry. Also shuts down ranged attacks and can shake apart structures, which we're going to see that power bash now. Back to the mid. Broodwich with a whole bunch of heresy reviving the Lictor Alpha, but they go down immediately. Rangers getting shots in and shots in from the Guardians. Broodwich not impressed, I don't think. Just risked his life to revive that Lictor Alpha, and down they go. Ravener Brood up now for Chuzar. Back towards the east side. It's a full gen bash for Pan. They didn't get the node. Here comes an assist from panzerbatallion. Doesn't want to stay in here too long. Does have a turret up though. Pan has more power spent. 30 power for the turret. And your King of Pythons does get the tier 2 rolling. So does Broodwich. Panzerbatallion is already there. And Solace is almost in tier 2 as well. So Chuzar and Pan a little bit behind in tech. Spending a bit more in tier 1. Nothing wrong with that. Heavy tier 1s are often the way to go. The turret is taken care of. There's another tunnel over there. Not sure why they put 2 tunnels in the same place. A little bit weird. But okay. Also surprising that Pan didn't try to destroy that first one. Hormagaunts in retreat. Where did they go? Oh, they got a decap on the VP. Then they got set upon by shotgun scouts with a sergeant. They might have grenaded them or something. They probably did. Tyrant Guard on the way for King of Pythons. That's a good shout, because Pan doesn't have any Chaos Space Marines to get Mark of Tzeentch Inferno Bolters. And the Tyrant Guard is really, he's just going to shrug off the Heretics and the Noise Marines. But Pan could get Bloodletters up. They would be a threat DPS wise to a Tyrant Guard. And could of course get some Chaos Space Marines up in tier 2. Sacred Standard is in play now for the Force Commander, providing constant damage buffs for nearby Red Team infantry. And an Autarch dropped in for Solace, sub-commander that provides a passive damage resistance aura. She doesn't benefit from it herself. Great mobility on her feet, some cool weapon options, and she can jump around and buff stuff even more. Often gets focused down though. We'll see how long she can survive. Heavy weapon squad out in tier 2 for Panzerbatallion. Always a good shout. Helping to hold the mid here with a heavy bolter. Sentinel has missile launcher in. Grenade launchers taking advantage of this shot blocker here and their indirect fire to get some shots in. Some cheeky grenade launcher shots. Some Nurgle worship now for health regeneration, and here is that Tyrant Guard. 2,500 hit points of super heavy infantry armor and pretty dangerous in melee as well. It's got like 90 odd heavy melee damage with a 15 damage splash on hit, and it attacks quite quickly, this thing. You'd expect it to be like a lumbering creature, and it kind of is in its movement, but once it gets into combat, it is chopping through you. Did a bit of a charge there. Benefits greatly from some friendly synapse being around to speed it up a bit, which King of Python doesn't have any of. Lord Commissar goes down. Sternguard veterans helping to get the kill there using their Hellfire rounds. Sternguard can change their ammo to combat all types of targets. Hellfire rounds good versus light infantry and heroes to give you a damage per time effect. There's that Nurgle worship again. Doesn't help out your allies, unfortunately. Only your own units. And look at the pressure from the Tyrant Guard. They got no answer to this thing yet. There's the tier 2 for Pan. Broodwich with a Razorback on the way. Don't see anything yet. Oh, it's Bloodletters now for Pan then. They're going to try and get some power melee on that Tyrant Guard to slice through the super heavy infantry armor. Sentinel using the frag missiles. It can switch to crack missile for some anti-large target stuff. It's a big gaggle of blue team stuff here, waiting menacingly in a pretty awkward place to push against. Actually, got these two relatively narrow approaches here. Is that pheromone? That is pheromone up for the Lictor Alpha. Allows his units to reinforce and debuffs enemies if they get caught, but I think he just lost Hormagaunts there. Or were they already down? That's a bunch of dead Termagants. Zone Throat getting shots in for Chuzar. Artillery unit provides a health regen synapse. I thought Chuzar was trying to find another way in, but they got some support now for Broodwich. Broodwich providing double tax to this push. There's a Ravener Brood Burrow Strike. Lord Commissar coming in with some Banshees, and it's a really good war shout, suppressing double tax and Termagants there. Tax in trouble. Sternguard in trouble. Big trouble. Kept them in play way too long there. Thought maybe that the Force Commander could disrupt with the hammer in play. Sternguard wiped then. That's quite a big loss for Broodwich. Momentary lapse in concentration can cost you. Maybe they thought the Razorback was going to get there in time. Noxious Cloud called in by Pan from the global bar of the Plague Champion. And here are the Bloodletters. These guys are deadly. Power melee Hellblades, tons of DPS, and they can teleport. Plague Champion now with a Plague Fist. And here comes Armor of Pestilence. Unjustly nerfed, but it's on the way. Would love to see them get the Icon of Nurgle here against Guard, Tyranids, and Eldar. Could do a hell of a lot of work. It is pretty difficult to turn down the Mucus Discharge accessory for the heal. There's some Nurgle Worship. Worship greatly benefits demons with a bunch of health regen, energy regen as well. Razorback trying to keep the distance. There isn't a whole lot to massively threaten it though. The Howling Banshees have aspect of fleetness, not the aspect of strength. Is this a pheromone here? Yeah, pheromone put down by the Lictor Alpha. Lord Commissar still down there. 433 to 272. Big VP lead for the blue team. But the King of Pythons now with just double Termagants. I guess the Bloodletters got the Tyrant Guard somewhere. I didn't actually see it. It might have been... Is that it there? No, that's a Noise Marine or something. It might have been chased back by the Bloodletters and finished off. It can be quite vulnerable when you don't have the synapse to speed it up. But the King of Pythons is in tier 3. That guy's job was to carry them to tier 3 and it worked. They got there. Assault Squad on the way for Broodwich. Smart call, I think. Will get buffed by the Force Commander, and it's another source of disruption. Level 3 there. What do we got? Artificer alongside that hammer. Some sneaky Eldar infiltrated by the Rangers there. Oh, we got some more Sternguard veterans. He promoted these other fellas that he had. You can only have one Sternguard veteran squad at a time. Razorback getting some repairs. Eldar not capping up these contested points. And they will make a difference over time, that's for sure. Might be going for the power here. You do have an Executioner Spear Autarch in play now. 65 odd power melee DPS. The Assault Squad instantly getting a Sergeant, instantly getting Thunder and Lightning as well. Baneblade on the way for panzerbatallion. Carnifex on the way for King of Pythons. Chuzar also goes tier 3. Chosen Plague Marines up for Pan, that's cool. And we do see the Icon of Nurgle for the Plague Champion. That's going to be awesome, because the Chosen Plague Marines themselves have like a lesser version of the Icon of Nurgle active. And I assume it all stacks together. There's no reason why it wouldn't, because it's not a damage of a time effect. It's like damage every... What is it? Every 2.5 seconds for the Icon of Nurgle. I assume it's the same for the Chosen Plague Marines. They just load the damage a bit. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Level 4 Plague Champion as well. Chosen Plague Marines with these power melee plague knives that do damage over time. Also have the Nurgle's Rot ability that can shut down health regen, I believe, as well as provide some zombies if you kill stuff. We've got a Stranglethorn Cannon Carnifex in play here. Already birthed out some Spore Mines. Meanwhile, west side, big fight kicking off. Banshee's yelling at nothing in particular. Nice grenades though by Solace there. Really messed up the Warrior Brood. No Synapse on the field. Oh, we still got the Zone Throat here. Stone Guard veterans moving up with the Hellfire rounds loaded in. Force Commander getting kind of low and has to retreat. Assault Squad are back there. Here comes a Baneblade, lefty your screen from panzerbatallion. Pan joining the fight now with Chosen Plague Marines and the Plague Champion, and so is King of Pythons with a Carnifex. Assault Squad jumping out of trouble. The Warlock went down. Sentinel trying to take on a Razorback. Razorback is getting repairs. And the Sentinel, being heavy infantry armor, is vulnerable to bolt guns and the like. Small arms fire. And they got the Razorback. Baneblade rolling around, bristling with guns. I thought it was going to stay mid, but it wanted some action on the west side. Oh, Sentinel goes down now. Got hit by a las cannon, I think. Las cannon is now getting shots on the Carnifex, and Carnifexes don't like las cannons. Very effective anti-vehicle weapon. Carnifexes have vehicle armor, also slows them down, and you can't repair Carnifexes. You can give them a bunch of healing with Zone Throat Symbiosis, but King of Pythons doesn't have a Zone Throat yet. 312 to 263. Bloodletter's leveling up there, chopped down a few Termagants pretty quick. There's some Nurgle worship for him. Might be worth just running at that Carnifex, getting some melee damage in, even if it's not ideal melee damage. The Plague Champion can join in. That is a singularity there. And it's a pretty good one. Wow, just deleted a bunch, all of Chuzar's Termagants there. And down goes the Zone Throat. That was a nasty fight for Chuzar. In an instant, they got Eldar. We got a Dreadnought up for Broodwich. Chuzar is in tier 3 though, so they can recover with some good old Carnifex rolling out. And they do have one rolling out. Fire Prism on the field for Solace soon. Dreadnought smacks the Autarch and she flees. Blue team stabilizing the mid with Panzer Battalion's Baneblade, bunch of Guardsmen and a Heavy Bolter here on that central VP. East side, Tyranids formation. Some friendly fire. Not sure what they were aiming for there. Might have been just to keep stuff away from the Carnifex, which does get out. 312 to 221 on the VPs, 2-1 for blue. Devastators on the way for Broodwich, most likely with a las cannon to help fight that Baneblade. And they're smacking up these capillary towers from the Tyranids formation. Does it give red? There's some Nurgle worship to help him out. It does give a bit of red. Doesn't seem to give XP though. Here's a Venom Cannon Carnifex for Chuzar, again, with eyes on that Baneblade, I'm sure. They do have double Guardsman support here to repair it though. Blastmaster Noise Marines for Pan, setting up in the mid, gives them an artillery weapon, which is awesome. Not sure what they're saying in chat there. I hope it's nothing too scandalous. Get me banned from the old YouTubes. Double Carnifexes now for King of Pythons. And it's double Stranglethorn time. Little bit of jockeying for position on the west side. Tried to get in, did Chuzar, but runs into Fire Prism time. In the mid, little bit of action. Here the Banshee's yelling, but they've probably gone into retreat. Yeah, they have. They should be okay. Baneblade being careful. Taking las cannon hits, taking venom cannon hits. There's a bioplasma, which hits it nicely. Assault squad jumping into Eldar stuff, trying to get a a melter bomb, I think, onto the fire prism. They could get it onto the Baneblade here, maybe. Where's for the Emperor? No for the Emperor on the las cannon, eh? That's an Eldritch Storm. Messes up the Carnifex. But I think they are going to get the Baneblade. 2 las cannons firing on it. Down it goes. Assault Squad are going to wipe though. Caught by Banshees at the bottom of your screen. Look at that. A bunch of Nurgle zombies thanks to the Nurgle rot of the Chosen Plague Marines there. A rough fight for panzerbatallion. His infantry barely got away and lost the Baneblade. Here comes a Manticore now. I'm sure what they're saying in chat is absolutely fine. Red team are going to retake the mid. Scouts are on it. Double Carnifex is being chased. Stern Guard loading in their Vengeance rounds for anti-vehicle damage. But they couldn't chase super well there. What is this? It's Termagant's power bashing. Might want to get that VP decapped, fellas, but I guess a power bash is pretty damn helpful too. Warlock with Ethereal Slash. Witchblade of Kurnus is in. Also has Warp Throw. A fantastic tool to have for the Eldar. Can set up tons of stuff. Can also use it defensively very well. Autarch jumps away. That red debuff circle is the pheromone debuff. Warrior Brood do not like this Witchblade of Kurnus, it turns out. Level 4 Warlock. Blue team taking the mid. Back, I think, Fist of Brockus, Lord Commissar, with the Carapace armor too. If those 2 Stranglethorn cannon shots hit the Heretics, they might have just outright died there. But that damage and suppression on hit, of course. That's kind of doing some work. Dreadnought getting some repairs, and there's the Stern Guard veterans as well. They tried to kill the scouts, or at least get them out of there to stop them repairing. Here comes a Infestation Capillary Tower. Gets the suppression hit there. This Carnifex is very low, but I think gets out. Well played by King of Pythons to recognize the need to get that shot in there. 296 to 139. Fire Prism should be able to outrange the Carnifex, but it still needs vision. Their weapon range isn't the same as their vision range. Borrowing Raveners with the enhanced muscle coil. +1 speed, more health, more damage, but they lose their ranged weapon. They will now benefit from the adrenal glands. So what are they at? 1738 health at level 2 with enhanced muscle coil and the adrenal gland buff. Melee synapse. Not bad at all. 2 to 1 steal for blue. There's Pestilent Strike, Plague Champion getting it done on that central cap. Trying to get it done. Pestilent Strike doesn't help you against the Fist of Brockus, and they are forced off. Here comes an orbital thanks to Broodwich. First beam is good. Second beam at least gets a D-cannon. Third beam misses. It gets a bunch of stuff out of there. Fist of Brockus popped at the end there, as you saw from panzerbatallion, to make sure, or tried to make sure, stuff doesn't die. Quick thinking. Assault Squad again for Broodwich. Got a pissed off Lord Commissar on them though, need to be careful. Here comes a Dreadnought to help out. Have we seen the Manticore fire yet? It must have fired several times. Oh, it doesn't have any XP, maybe it hasn't fired. Chaos Predator tank going after it for Pan with Mark of Zinch. It must have fired. Just hasn't killed anything, I guess. Avatar of Cain on the field for Solace. Big swing on the Lictor Alpha, who's got the menacing visage for Terrify. Makes something run away there. Used it on the Banshees, as you saw. Got a Shrine to Nurgle going up. Actually really close to the victory point. They're trying to forward, set up a little bit forward here. I guess. Swarm Lord on the field for the King of Pythons. Super unit for Tyranids. Powerful combatant and provides a speed and reinforcement synapse. Going straight after a tank Last Cannon getting shots on the Carnifexes over there. I wonder if Broodwich wants the Terminators now, or if they're going to go Land Raider for the mid. Assault Terminators would be very, very useful against these Carnifexes, that's for sure. Avatar taking a bunch of damage from the tank. Red in the mid, but can they hold on? That was Emperor's Wrath, was it? No, that's a Manticore Strike. There it is. And that's a Singularity. Bad news for those heretics, but they lived. Oh no, the Dreadnought might go down. Carnifex is meleeing it. Here comes some Vanguard veterans, killing the Carnifex with their Power Fist upgrade. Something's capping mid. What is that? That's just Guardsmen in there. Level 4 Guardsmen. And some awesome pressure on the eastern side of the map while their monstrous creatures were holding things up. The Ravenet Alpha gets some capping done and some power bashing done. Now level 7 with Crippling Talon. Also has Reinforced Chitin, slowing units down that hit it in melee. Bunch of health and immunity to knockback as well. Down goes the Dreadnought. Swarm Lord gets it done. Back to the mid. Plague Champion does not get away. Level 5 at the moment. And a Lehman Russ is up for Panzer Battalion with a Vanquisher upgrade in. So very good at long range against large targets such as Carnifexes. That shot seemed to miss though, which was weird. Bioplasma's a good hit. And now double Venom Cannons. Feel the wrath of that, Lehman Russ. Just to back the hell away pretty quickly from that. That was nasty. And we got double Chaos Predators for Pan. One with Marco Zinch and one without the mark. Red team are running out of VPs though. Las Cannon getting shots. Down goes a Chaos Spread pretty quickly. I was thinking maybe we were going to see Inspire Courage on those. Wait, how did those guys die? Fist of Brockus was on them, wasn't it? There's an Imperial Abyss. Ouch, it's a good one. Imperial Abyss just scythes through a bunch of stuff there. Took out the Fire Prism, took out a bunch of guards when Lehman Russ goes down. Was that engagement enough for Red Team to get this in the bag? I'm confused about why that Las Cannon heavy weapon squad died though. It seemed like Fist of Brockus was active on them. Unless they was... the Lord Commissar was knocked slightly out of range maybe? Maybe. Almost level 7 is the Force Commander. Ogren's on the way for Panzer Battalion. Can they revive this Lord Commissar though? Plague Champions back up? Yeah, Plague Champions back up. Still a 2-1 against Red. Because of this great play here from King of Pythons getting his VP locked down a bit. Terminator Assault Squad for Broodwich. Trying to get on that cap. Needs to be careful here. King of Pythons. Carnifex gets away. Swarmlord still getting stuck in. Goes after the Force Commander now. Tank getting some free shots, but that's a good Bioplasma hit again. We should be able to get the Force Commander out of there. Terminators did get the cap. Oh, they're getting slowed down by the Reinforced Chitin there. See a Council in play for Solace. What are the Ogren's up to? It's just hanging out a base, and Panzer Battalion has tons of red. Panzer Battalion could drop a good nuke here, a telling nuke. But there's the 2-1. A comeback is on for red. After that really good fight with that superb Imperial Abyss from Pan. Neurothrope on the way for Chuzar. Guardian Weapon Team for Solace. And we got some Bulgrins up for Panzer Battalion. Tier 3 upgrade for these guys. Gives them more health, more damage resistance, more DPS, and a new ability. We'll see how it goes. Avatar has found the Blastmaster. He's not happy with it. Vanguard veterans get onto him though, and they'll do really good DPS on Avatar. Avatar is super heavy infantry. And those guys are all power and heavy melee DPS. Avatar does buy some time, soaks up a bunch of damage. Blue team on the VP. Can they get it done? Seer Council are there and they have turned to fighting another Imperial Abyss and an Eldritch going off at the same time. Shuts down those two Carnifexes for a bit. I guess it scrambles their brains. Yeah, you can see the effect on their heads there. How did the nuke do? Pretty good. Got Solace off the cat, that's for sure. Panzer Battalion has tons of resources. Can they get a Lehman Russ up? They're going for Kassakin. The Bullgrins were forced to retreat, losing a model. Warlock went all the way down here and died. I hear the Banshees yelling. What are they yelling at? Oh, they're yelling at this. Red team were trying to get on this VP and they got it. There's the triple for Red team. Land Raider Phobos on the way now for Pan. Panzer Battalion might have lost a lot. Might have lost too much, I mean, for them to come back in. He was doing so well in the mid. Was very solid in the mid. Sometimes you just get hit by those nukes. Assault Terminator is trying to keep the Tyranids off this VP, but the King of Pythons is very persistent. Single cap against blue now. Raven Alpha does eventually leave. Swinglord getting tons of DPS on the Terminators here. Now using Leech Essence to suck some health out of his infantry. Terminator's having to teleport away. They dropped a model there. Swarmlord going beast mode. And now he's just standing there. Very, very pleased with himself. Not sure what's going on there with that Swarmlord. He's getting las cannon hits. There's a Tyranno formation. Down goes the Swarmlord. Not sure why he just seemed to completely stop there. We got a Seer Council zombie. That's awesome. Thanks to the chosen Plague Marines. I don't know where they are now. Did they run away? They're right there. They're right there. Now they're running away. 1-to-1 cap. 10 VPs on the counter for red. Can they keep up this pressure? The King of Pythons lost all of his monstrous creatures there. Again, not sure what happened to the Swarmlord. It seemed to be strangely stuck. Dawn of Bugs. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only weird stuff going on in your video game. Is this a Bright Lance? It is a Bright Lance. Well, Commissar's back to his feet. And is this a new Manticore? Yeah, it's a new Manticore. I mean, it must be new. It's got no XP. Yeah, it is, because they were down to the Bullgrins, weren't they? There's your Nurgle Shrine. Pops out some healing every few seconds. I think it's every 7 seconds or something. No, I think it's 7% healing. Look at this though from King of Pythons. They are not giving up. Constantly on this VP. They just can't keep him from decapping apparently. Level 9 Lictor Alpha, Raven Alpha goes down. Vanguard getting a jump. 1-to-1 cap though. The team just can't hold on to this thing. And another Carnifex for King of Pythons. Maybe a Thornback? No, they're going Venom Cannon. Okay. Maybe because is the Phobos over there? No, Phobos is in the mid. I thought they'd go Thornback to stand up to those Assault Terminators, but I guess not. Orbital Bombardment in the mid. And a Manticore Strike on top of the Phobos. They're still capping because they were close enough, but the Orbital does send them away. Here comes some anti-armor Stormtroopers. Still the 1-to-1 cap. Blue team not giving in at all. Panzer Battalion surely needs to drop a nuke at some point here. Or some of those Basilisk flares would be useful as well. There is a paroxysm from the Neurothrope. There's the rocket run. Wipes out some heretics. The last of Pan's heretics are down. Got some Seer Council zombies though, so it's not all bad. Almost level 4 Chosen Plague Marines. They get so much health when they level up, it's awesome. 64 to 10 on the VPs, 2-to-1 for red now. Warlock's been down here for a while, hasn't he? I think so. He's still leveling up for some reason. Must have done some damage to those heretics maybe at some point and still got levels for it. Another Carnifex for Chuzar. Tier 3 Lictor for King of Pythons. Kassakin on the way for the panzerbatallion. Solace down to 2 units here. Getting pressure on their own VP northwest. Lictor Rafa goes for decap. Ravener Brood coming just in time to stop that D cannon from firing. Tearing through them pretty well. I think this is GG. I think red team have done enough now. They fought off some fierce resistance from the blue team, but they're going to get a triple cap. I think. Yeah. Even if they die to those Banshees, it's worth getting a triple, I think. Lictor getting smacked around by Assault Terminators. Stone God Veterans assisting. Double cap might be enough. Hear the Banshees yelling, the double cap was enough. And red team got it. Hell of a game. Turning point was Panzer Battalion's unfortunate turn when they got nuked. And they lost a Baneblade on that fight as well, I think. And a Fire Prism went down on that fight as well. That nuke was nasty. Level 5 Warlock down at the end. Level 5 Lord Commissar, Fist of Brockus, Carapace Armor, and Aura of Discipline. The Bullgrins didn't survive. Not sure what happened to those fellas. Level 9 Ravener Alpha. Hell of a game for King of Pythons. Huge pressure on this side. Did well. Lictor Alpha was level 6. Bunch of Carnifex at the end and a Neurothrope. It was nice to see the Lictor Alpha not fade in this game, which can often happen in a 3v3. Level 9 Force Commander. Sacred Standard Artificer. Thunderhammer, very solid from Broodwich. And Pan, also very solid. Level 10 Plague Champion. And some awesome showings from the Chosen Plague Marines too. There you have it, guys. It was an awesome game, I think. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.